talk my shit. I got on dick, and she turned around and hit. And I done learned a lot of shit. I had her burn up her brain. I deserve her face. I deserve her. I deserve her. I'm like, how we do your motherfucking speaker? I can't do the Gita. I don't rock the Gita.
What's up, guys? This your boy, Mr. I-240. I'm back with another episode. Hey, man. First things first, I want to thank God, Lord Jesus Christ, for another day. Bless me to see y'all. Y'all know how we do. It won't be if it weren't for him, it won't be no me, it won't be no Paige, it won't be no y'all. And second, most thing, we just made it to 300 subscribers, yo. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to do a poll, but y'all weren't responding, you know what I'm saying? So I just end up choosing the episode myself for the 300 subscribe episode, you know what I'm saying? But I'm really appreciative for the love and content from y'all, and I'm really so thankful for God for blessing me to do this and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I just also PSA announcement, guys. If we get to 400 subscribers, I will release the Memphis episode. I don't say contacted, but I put in the comments to, I guess, the fan Kelly. You know what I'm saying? I told her, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and drop it. You know what I'm saying? If we can get the 400 subscribers, we gotta get the 400 first. 400, you know what I'm saying? I told her I was gonna drop that episode for her because she been asking for it. She been patiently waiting on it. So I'm gonna drop that for her, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta get the 400 subscribers. So you gotta subscribe, comment, hit that notification button. You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited right now, especially about this episode we're getting into. Is he the best all times? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, with that being said, let's get straight to it. Alright, so like I just said, this episode is called Is He the Best of All Times? Now, the gentleman that y'all see in the promos and stuff, this is the guys that had the WWE title for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, the list is Roman Reigns, Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund, Hulk Hogan, Pedro Morales, CM Punk, AJ Styles, and Randy Savage. Those are the 8 guys I could figure out, because I could have put everybody in here, but it's just like I put the top 8, you know what I'm saying? Because I could have put Kevin Nash, Diesel. He had to build for 358 days, but that was like 358 straight trash. Wasn't it? His best match was Bret Hart. I'm sorry. But, you know what I'm saying? So, I just wanted to do something special because it was one of the ones that was supposed to be episode 86 or something like that. But I said, you know what? Since, the Roman Reigns thing is starting to unravel, it's come to a near end and stuff like that, why not have a debate right now? So, with that being said, the first contestant, my main man, Roman Joe Reigns. Now, we all know Roman Reigns debuted in 2012 with the Shield, broke up with the Shield, and at one point, they were trying to shove him down our throat. Then, of course, he was in that trash feud with Baron Corbin, which I found out reported him and Paul Heyman was going to leave WWE because he got tired of the big dog thing. So, in 2020, he had a career change. Now, of course, he was the big dog heading to face Goldberg at WrestleMania, but then COVID happened, so he left because he had cancer. Then, as time went on, he had a career change. If he came back, the tribal chief, wreck everyone and leave. You know what I'm saying? He came back as that. Then it just started off this luxurious title reign. So, like, he has been on top for 3 years, 1,000 days and counting. And you gotta ask yourself, and everybody's glorifying him as the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I say the best of all time because of the GOAT thing, religious reasons, all that. We ain't gonna get into all that. But I think is he the best of all time? You know what I'm saying? He got the credentials, he got the portfolio. But for me to say he the best of all time, I don't know. Because it took him 12 years to reach the high pinnacle. When guys like Brock Lesnar been great from the jump. Hulk Hogan, best from the jump. It took him 12 years to be himself. I don't know. That ain't it. I can't crown him as the best. That's why in football, folks like, man, you don't got Tom Brady as the best of all time? Hell no. Nigga lost to Eli and Nick Foles. What the hell put him as the GOAT? Or the best, whatever, you know what I mean? But his credentials is legitimate, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. My boy took off from SummerSlam. Then it really took off from Payback, where he defeated Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt. Because you got to remember, he did kill Bray Wyatt push when he said, you just a freak in the mask. So you got to look at it, especially featuring his family members. At first, it started with Jay. Yeah, he got Jay to fall in line, yelling at Jay every day, going crazy. Then, of course, he got Paul Heyman by his side, the evil genius, the councilman, the wise man, the hype man, the Flavor Flav of the bloodline. Then, that wasn't enough. Then, of course, he had his WrestleMania moment when, he printed up a t-shirt. I forgot the damn catchphrase. I can put him in the comment. When he dethroned Edge with Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan, once again, even Daniel Bryan said it. I didn't need to be in that match. That was Edge shine. When Edge came back and won the Royal Rumble from number 1. So you got to ask yourself, my boy just been on a rampage. But is he the greatest of all time? Because you got to think about it. During this push, Jay got hot. Jay gotten so much better since COVID. COVID was a gift and it was a blessing in disguise for Jay. Your brother hurt, your big cousin back, and he chose the he chose the feud with you first to put you on. Then of course Jimmy on. You know what I'm saying? He put over Sami Zayn, who played whatever conspiracy theory dude he played. Then Paul Heyman, he don't need to be on. He already on. He had that sprinkle to the sauce. Then of course you got Baby Cuz, he on already. He ain't even been on the main roster that long. Don't get me wrong, Solo was doing his thing, doing the NXT days, but he coming in getting a mega push. Boom, took out Drew McIntyre. So you gotta ask yourself, is he the best of all time? What, like, we're going by matches wise? Like, he got the credentials. So during this time, my boy defeated Kevin Owens twice. Sami Zayn. Cesaro, sent him packing to AEW. Jey Uso, who he made him like a little bitch in Hell in a Cell by embarrassed Jay. By choking out Jimmy. God damn, my boy Cole. Beat Edge twice at WrestleMania and at Money in the Bank, where we got that trash return from John Cena. Then he beat Daniel Bryan in the last chance match on SmackDown, sent him packing to AEW because Daniel Bryan told Vince, I want to bleed. Then, of course, he beat Riddle. I feel like he don't respect Riddle because it could have been the main event of Money in the Bank last year. But Roman Reigns was like, nah, I'm going to sit out on this one. I'm going to sit out on Vegas, bro. We gonna go on, do that. And, of course, Dog John Cena. Dog John Cena. At SummerSlam in Las Vegas. I'm sorry, bruh. It should have been Finn Balor versus John Cena. It should have been Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns in Vegas. Because that match with John Cena was embarrassing straight trash. Then, of course, he beat Brock Lesnar, Crown Jewel, WrestleMania, and, of course, their best match ever at SummerSlam. I was there in Nashville. It was one of the greatest moments of my life. Then, of course, he beat Rey Mysterio in Hell in a Cell. Y'all thought Roman Reigns was going to work on Father's Day in Hell in a Cell? Hell no. That ain't it. Hell no. My boy said, you know what, bro? I don't even want to work on Father's Day. I'm going to beat you on SmackDown real quick and I'm out. Then you got to remember, weeks leading to the match, he powerbombed Dominic outside the ring. Then, of course, he beat Big E. Now, Big E won his biggest feud, of course. But they had a champion versus champion match at Survivor Series in Madison Square Garden, where the Tribal Chief got the dub. Now, I ain't gonna front. This list here is hard to beat. These are a lot of credible opponents that he had. Whether he cheated or whether he beat them clean, he got the credentials. And also, I forgot he beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania in front of the world when we all thought Cody was gonna get the dub. Wrong. That ain't it. So you gotta think about it. Is he the best of all time? Could it be? I mean, I gotta agree with John Cena. Roman Reigns had put more folks over than John Cena ever did. Roman Reigns ain't buried nobody, allegedly. But allegedly, John Cena has. Ex-Baron Corbin. Ex-Alice Rattler. They know. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And you can't forget the Shinsuke thing, and that wasn't even John Cena fault. That's Vince Golden Boy when Shinsuke dropped him on the neck. So you got to think about it. with a list like that, the credentials, and he had the belt for 3 years and counting at 1,000 days. And we all know he going for that Hulk Hogan record. I don't know why they just want to get rid of it. I don't know. But it's a pretty impressive list. You know what I'm saying? So, I might got to put Roman Reigns as number 1 right now. Crazy as they sound. Then, of course, my next contestant, my main man, the Italian, Bruno Sammartino, who have held the belt long on 2 occasions, where it was 2,803 days, and the other one was 1,234 days. You know, I gotta put the little facts with it. He was a Vince McMahon senior top guy, and then he had the championship for many years. I forgot what year he won the champ, but he had it for a minute. And plus, you know, during his career, him and Vince McMahon had heat. You know, as I did put up, he had the title belt for 8 years. He lost the title finally to Ivan Klosov. And then plus, during his title reign, he beat Killer Kowalski, the man who trained Triple H in China, Boris Malenko, Dean Malenko father, and my main man with the flashy style, the swag with the cane, Freddie Blassie. He beat George the Animal Steele and the Sheik during his title reign. You gotta think about it in the modern day eras. It wasn't about the cameras, the glass. It was about who was the best, who was putting on. You know what I'm saying? And during that time, during his career too, he became an announcer, and he mentored my main man, Larry Zbyszko, and then they had beef. So that's a tough reign to, you know what I'm saying, to beat, you know what I'm saying, because that's 8 years. Could we see the tribal chief going for another 5 years? At that point, the tribal chief would be 45 if he was to have the belt continuously. And that's a long time to keep the fans engaged, especially in this era. Now back then it was easy because the human being IQ was kind of bright and smart. Now if they was to do that with Bruno Sammartino in today's era, folks like, all right, bro, I'm bored, bro. Put the belt on somebody else. So that attests to his greatness, how he kept the fans engaged for 8 years. And then he did it again with another title reign, 1,234 days. That is some skills that you can keep the fans engaged as champion. And they just show you how great and tested his skills is. You know what I'm saying? Even though I ain't probably watched, I watched a few highlights. My boy was a stiff dude. You know what I'm saying? He was no nonsense dude. He was beating folks up. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus it shows you that both senior and junior believed in my boy. They let my boy had the belt on 2 different occasions. So you gotta think about that. Like, damn. 8 years of keeping the crowd engaged. That's why I gotta give Roman his shine. Because he has kept us engaged into the tribal chief mode for 3 years with different layers, different stories, adding different characters. You know what I'm saying? Doing different things. You know, especially with him and Triple H, them collaborate. So it's just like back then, you know, especially back then, my boy beat, these ain't no slouch dudes, you know what I'm saying? They might not be no Sami Zayn's and Kenny Omega, but these are OGs in the game that he beat. And back then, they was hitting more stiff and hard, pause. You know what I'm saying? They were hitting more, you know what I'm saying? You feel that? Elbow. These when guys couldn't even walk. So I got to give my OG his shine. So I might got to put, I love Roman, but I got to, if we talking about, you know what I'm saying, engaging and impact and stuff like that, Roman and Bruno right here. 8 years versus 3. It's hard to keep fans engaged now. So imagine how hard it was to keep fans engaged for 8 years. And then he finally lost it to Ivan Klosov. Alright. Then the next contestant is the OG legend, the psychopath, one of the best of all times, my main man. The man that said, make Darren Young great again. Hell no. But I feel what he was doing. My main man, Bob Backlund. So my main man was an amateur wrestler he went to North Dakota State, University of Bison. And plus, In 1978, he defeated recently passed away the OG superstar Billy Graham for the world title, where he had the belt from 1978 to 1983, which would be 2,135 days. And then he lost the belt to the Iron Sheik in 1983. Then at one point, he left the company and he came back in 1994, where he feuded with Bret Hart, even won the championship in the classic match for the WWF title at Survivor Series, where Owen Hart was fake crying. Man, come on, man, Bret gonna die, man. Fake crying, looking at mama and daddy. His daddy know he full of, but his mama being a soft soul, concerned for her son, she threw the towel in, cause Bret was in that cross-faced chicken wing for a long time. It was finna pass out. Then, of course, my boy lost the belt 3 days later to Diesel. An honorable mention. You know what I'm saying? I could have put you on here, Kevin Nash, but that reign wasn't that good. I mean, your matches with British Bulldog just wasn't it. Your matches with Sid Vicious in the Lumberjack match in your house just wasn't it. And that jump with Mabel, straight trash. No, that ain't it. But back to my boy Bob Backlund. I'm sorry. So, during that time, they kind of, from the research, they kind of had the opponents who he wrestled. They kind of didn't. But he wrestled like Nick Bockwinkel, Ric Flair, Billy Robinson, Antonio, the dude in New Japan, you know what I'm saying? And he wrestled a young Hulk Hogan. So, with that alone, I probably had to put Mr. Backlund probably like, man, number 5. But my boy Legend now. You gotta remember, you know what I'm saying? My boy's so animated and charismatic. You don't know if he be for real or angry, you know what I'm saying? Especially when I saw the most Treacherous episode. That's really how he is, you know what I'm saying? Especially when he had his rival, Sergeant Slaughter, on the show. You know what I'm saying? And I think he had a rival with Iron Sheik too. So my boy just so animated. You seen the Hall of Fame say, Sergeant Slaughter, you beat me up. You know what I'm saying? That's how he is, and animated and energized, you know what I'm saying? But he made wrestling look so easy and smooth and crispy, because that Bret Hart feud, like I said, went from 94 to March at WrestleMania when they had the I Quit match, when Bret Hart got the revenge back in blood. But this is a pretty impressive list, but not impressive like the first two. But it's up there. So I probably had to put it at number 4, number 5. Just because the credentials alone, and my boy's an OG legend and animated, except he said make Darren Young great again. I wasn't feeling it. I'm sorry. That ain't it. Then, of course, do I gotta say anything about my next contestant? Do I gotta say anything? We know his background. So I ain't gotta. We already know who Hulk Hogan. And my next contestant is Hulk Hogan, where he had a double title reign too. You know what I'm saying? Where he had it at the 1,474 days, and I think the other one was 364 days, almost a year. So we know about the Hogan Maniacs, with the WrestleMania 1, with Mr. T, the cartoons. Him and Piper put wrestling on the map. And he was a Vince Jr. guy, because I think before he came back, Vince Sr., I saw in the interview just recently, Vince Sr., basically what I'm saying is Hulkamania would have never happened. Because I think watching the interview, he had said that Vince Sr. had fired him because he did Rocky. So imagine that. If he would have never came back to wrestling, we would have never got Hulkamania. Because you got to think, Hulkamania was a pivotal point in the 80s, just like in basketball with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. You think about them guys, all them guys rise at the same time and put their respective sports where it is now. That was the foundation. And Hulk Hogan, I gotta give him his props. He might be a snake. He might be a snake, not like Jake, but he might be a snake. But he's the reason why we are here where we at now. So like I said, this would have never happened. He got fired for doing Rocky. But Vince McMahon Jr. brought him back in 1983 because Bob Backlund was in the feud with the Iron Sheik. But I guess he had got hurt or something, and they replaced Hogan to get the championship, where he won in 1983, 1994. He won the championship. Then they probably explains why him and Iron Sheik had heat until Iron Sheik died. R.I.P. to the legend. Then my boy was so cold, it was him versus the world. If you see the picture, there was a lot of guys he defeated. So I might gotta put Hogan number 2. Cause these are who's who. I just couldn't write everybody down. But I wrote some of these guys down who my boy defeated. He defeated Iron Sheik, Paul Orndorff, John Studd, an underrated Greg Valentine. I ain't gonna front. I ain't even know Greg Valentine was their coach. I thought Greg Valentine was a tag team wrestler jobber. I didn't even know my boy was one of the longest Intercontinental champions of all time. That's why I said you gotta do your research. You gotta do your research. And he defeated my main man, of course, George Animal Steel, Kamala, Roddy Piper, Terry Funk, Hercules, Rick Rude, One Man Gang, and Ted DiBiase. Those some heavyweights, man. You see what I'm saying? Those some heavyweight championship talented guys that my main man beat. Yes, I call him my main man because even though I don't like his ways, Hogan is still in my top 3 because he was the first one I liked. It's Hogan, Bret, Rock. What y'all want me to do, bro? Even though that racist stuff he did with the tall basketball player, I forgive you, bro. I don't know about Booker T, but I don't know. But my main man had a good, luxurious reign. You know what I'm saying? And those are very good quality opponents. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I had to put Hogan number 3, to be honest with you, as far as title reigns. And it's just the guys that he beat because this is a who's name on here, especially if you watch wrestling. Especially my boy, the One Man Gang, except when he became Hakeem. That wasn't it. That was straight black trash racist. That ain't it. Wearing a dashiki. Hell no. Manager by a dude named Slick. No, that ain't it. Alright. Another one. I was finna start watching highlights. My main man, I might gotta put him main number 2 because my main man had 1,027 days with the championship, but he also had the Intercontinental title, a long title reign. My boy's so cold. And I'm talking about the Puerto Rican star Pedro Morales, where he was by 1987, he was a Triple Crown champion. And then, like I just said, my boy also had a long Intercontinental title reign. And plus, his reign was 2 years from 1971 to December 1973, where he won the championship from Ivan Kloskov, who I think defeated Bob Backlund. And during that time, my boy had Stan, it's all the research, Ivan Kloskov, Stan Stasiak, Bruno Sammartino, and Killer Kowalski. The reason I say I want to put my boy ahead of everybody because think about it, my boy's so cold, they believe in him so much. Hey man, not only you gonna hold the main title for 2 years, but we're gonna give you the mid-card title and you gonna hold that for a long time. My main man cold, bruh. I gotta watch my highlights because I want to see how good you were. And he was an OG legend in the game for sure, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, damn, that man not had, think about what I'm saying though. The man had the main belt for a long time. Think about it, the main belt. Then they said, man, you so good, man, we're gonna give you the other belt and you gonna hold it for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I know you had to be a physical specimen and putting in that work, and I know the promos had to be right then, you know what I'm saying? You just had to be big, strong, and engage the fans. So I gotta give him his pride. I gotta give him his shine, his props. You know what I'm saying? So I might gotta put him number, I don't know, but he gotta be at least top 5. Because if you hold those 2 belts for a long time, you had to be good at your job. I'm surprised, like I said a while ago, I'm surprised they don't talk about him as one of the greatest of all time. And I'm just saying that alone because you held, like I said, you held the main title and the Intercontinental title. Name anybody in the modern day era that can hold both titles for a long time. Because it's hard to keep wrestling fans engaged for this many years. That's why I said I got to give Roman his credit for holding the WWE title and keeping fans engaged. Because you got to keep them engaged. If you going to keep the belt on somebody for a long time, you got to keep folks engaged, add different layers and different stories. You see what I'm saying? For it to work. Because if it's just the same stick, it's just going to be like, all right, bro. Like, that's like Dead Man Undertaker holding the belt for 8 years. He just, rest in peace, rest in peace. Ain't nothing new, fresh, nothing. You ain't keeping me engaged. You know what I'm saying? So, I got to respect it. And I respect my main man, Pedro Morales, for holding 2 belts, the 2 main belts in the company. And they just show you that he's one of the best of all time. At least if it was up to me, just for the long, I at least had to put the man at least top 50, top 30 or something. Because he kept it engaged. And you had those 2 belts for a long time. Then my next contestant, of course, my main man, Mr. Slim Jim, Mr. Paranoia. Couldn't nobody talk to his wife, Miss Elizabeth. My main man, dressing like Starburst, lifesavers, all the colors. And I ain't talking about the gang banging version of LA. I ain't talking about that. Hell no, that ain't it. Mr. Drip Splash on your ass. More drip than Flair. Well, no, yeah. Randy Savage was dripped out more than Flair. I'm sorry, bro. But the point is this. I'm talking about my main man. Ooh, yeah. Mr. Can You Dig It? Mr. I'm an announcer and I don't even like the job, but I'm cold at it. Because this nigga want to make me an announcer. Who else could I be talking about? My main man. Do I gotta say it, man? Gotta put the my main man. Macho Man Randy Savage. Now, like I said, I ain't gotta put much into it. We know about Randy. But I can name a fun fact though. His 371 days title reign started when he won the championship at WrestleMania, was it 4? I think 4. 4 or 5. I think it was WrestleMania 4. Where it was him and Ted DiBiase in the finals. And this was before Andre the Giant had defeated Hulk Hogan on the episode of Saturday Night Main Event thanks to Ted DiBiase. And Ted DiBiase tried to buy the championship. So they had to vacate the championship and they made a tournament at WrestleMania. So he beat Ted DiBiase in the finals. Then that year, him and Hulk Hogan formed the Mega Powers. Then of course they fought Andre and Ted DiBiase. And they fought the Twin Towers. Now of course, the infamous trade happened. Where a year later, it was all good. They had Liz. Oh man, we brothers, boy. I love you, bruh. I love you, dog. Then of course, my boy was paranoid. He thought Hogan was starting to steal his girl. On screen, off screen. It was to a point in real life. In 2002, my boy made a rap album. He made an album and he had a song called, I forgot the name of the song, but he dissed Hulk Hogan. That was funny, Macho Man rapping though. I ain't gonna front. I love you, boy. But in 1989, they broke up on the episode of Saturday Night Event. I think they chased the Twin Towers, where Hogan tried to go for the tag. Macho Man left. Then no, they knocked down Liz. That what happened. Knocked down Liz. I think Randy Savage knocked down Liz. Yeah, Randy Savage knocked down Liz. Hogan picked up, took her to the locker room. Then Randy came back mad as hell. What the hell you doing? What is you doing, huh? Then Hogan was talking to Liz. Randy Savage dropped Hogan with the belt. I'm sick of you, dog. I'm tired of being in your shadow. Then they had intense promos between both of them that led to the famous match at WrestleMania 5, where of course this nigga won the belt. You know what I'm saying? I would love to put Randy, but I don't remember that many title defenses, or I couldn't find no opponents who he really defended the belt against. But it was because that whole year and 6 days was based off him and Hogan colliding at WrestleMania. But my boy was a great champion. And it was so crazy. The reason I said on screen, off screen, because Randy really thought Hogan wanted his girl. He thought everybody wanted his girl. Couldn't nobody talk to Liz. You know what I'm saying? So what you seen on TV, you'll think, oh, that man ain't like that for real. That man was really like that. You know, if you watch Dark Side of the Ring, you know what I'm saying, with the Liz and Randy Savage storyline, Macho Man was really like that. Jake the Snake said, you know, couldn't nobody talk to her, couldn't hug her, kiss her, couldn't say hey, couldn't do nothing. And he just really had a disdain for Hogan because, like I said a while back in the episode, was Hulk Hogan a big pivotal point in WrestleMania? I mean, wrestling history, yes. But my main man, Randy Savage, was. And I just feel like in Randy eyes, I don't know about to the fans, but maybe to the company, no matter what he did in any company, no matter what he did, he was always going to be number 2 to Hulk Hogan. He was always going to be number 2. And that's the sad part, because Randy Savage is much good as Hogan is. And plus, Randy Savage, his matches were never boring. You know what I'm saying? I think, to be honest with you, to be real with you, I think he's a better wrestler than Hulk Hogan. I'm just going to be real. I'm going to say Macho Man is a better wrestler than Hulk Hogan. I think my man was so good. It was at one point him and Ric Flair hate each other. And they still had good matches. They matches was better than Hogan versus Flair. Did y'all see that WrestleMania match in 1992 when man Randy Savage won the belt? Classic match. Ric Flair bleeding, going crazy. Then they WCW matches. You know what I'm saying? Like, but just no matter what he did, he was always gonna be behind Hulk Hogan though. They're just being real. But shout out to my main man, Randy Savage. Now, my next contestant, Chirac's own. Well, Chicago's own, sorry. Chicago's own. Phillip Brooks, a.k.a. CM Punk. We all know about CM Punk. He was in ROH, TNA. You know, he had classic rivalry with Raven. He joined Raven. He debuted in 2006 in Chicago. It was New York? No, it was New York. New York or Chicago against Justin Credible on ECW. And of course, we know he won the ECW title at that trash December to remember, whatever you want to call it, pay-per-view at Elimination Chamber where Paul Heyman got fired and they moved on without him. And he had great rides with John Morrison. And of course, he was supposed to face Chris Benoit at Night of Champions before Chris Benoit offed himself and his family. But my boy became world champion in 2008, where he defeated Edge, defeated against JBL. I think, did he fight Batista in 2008? No. But so on since so on. Fought Jeff Hardy in 2009, and we'll get to all that. But his luxurious title reign started off as the pipe bomb in 2011 when he was tired of being in the shadow of John Cena. So he got tired of being in the shadow of John Cena, where he had personal promos with Vince, Cena, and Triple H there. But in 2011, his title reign didn't start at Money in the Bank, but I'm giving y'all the background story. But it was a hot summer night in Chicago. Everybody eating pizza, that Chicago pizza dog, chilling. Stadium going crazy. Feel like the World Series. Cena, Punk. Cena come out. Yeah, whatever. Boo. Then, of course, so what else happened? Cena come out. Then Punk came out. Fans started going crazy. There was his old song for the name of the ding da da something like that. They came out. Fans going crazy. Him and Cena going back and forth. Vince tried to screw him. John Cena knocked out John Laurinaitis. We're not gonna do it like that. Cena got back in the ring. Roman, knee to the face. 1, 2, 3. Peace out. Punk going into the dark. Kiss the fans. Kiss the Vince. So, as that months and months went on, he came back. They had a match at SummerSlam. He lost it again. Then, of course, he won it in November against Alberto Del Rio in Survivor Series. And during that reign, of course, he reunited with Paul Heyman. And he had the championship for 434 days. And, of course, he lost the championship to The Rock at the Royal Rumble in controversial fashion when the Shield interfered, well, the lights went out, the Shield interfered, powerbomb Rock through the table. Rock got back in the ring, 1, 2, 3, peace out. But then Vince came out. He finna strip the belt from CM Punk. Then The Rock was like, no, I'll take it from Rock bottom, 1, 2, 3. They had the rematch at Elimination Chamber where Punk spit in The Rock face. And the rest is history. But during that time, he defeated John Cena, Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, Kane, Chris Jericho, Dolph Ziggler. And he defeated Ryback and John Cena at Survivor Series when the Shield debuted and destroyed Ryback at the same time. And of course, he won at Elimination Chamber. Now, I ain't gonna front. I might have put Punk reign number 4 or number 3. Because before the Roman Reigns, that was unheard of. We haven't had a champion in any wrestling professional hold the belt that long. So I got to give my main man his props. You know what I'm saying? I'm just mad during his reign he didn't main event WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? Punk should have main event WrestleMania both years. And I'm just being real. Well, he didn't have the belt the second year, but you get my point. Then, of course, the next contestant, the last contestant, my main man, AJ Styles. I've been a big AJ fan since the first day of TNA. You know, he was the first TNA grand champion. You know what I'm saying? And he was the foundation of why Impact at where it's at now. But, fun fact, before he was in New Japan, with the Bullet Club, winning heavyweight championships, main event and stuff like that. But his contract was up in New Japan, and he left New Japan in late 2015 and debuted in 2016 at the Royal Rumble when it was the concept of one versus all, when it was Roman Reigns, who at the time was the WWE World Champion, had to defend his title in the Royal Rumble match where he started number 1. But then, of course, he lost to Triple H. But after the Royal Rumble, him and Chris Jericho was a team for a minute. They came up with their own team called Y2AJ. But Chris Jericho had turned on AJ, and they had a variety of matches on Raw, and they had a match at Fastlane. I think AJ won both of them. But later on that year, his first title reign, he won the WWE title from Dean Ambrose in 2016 at Backlash. And I was shocked because I was like, wow, Vince let a TNA guy win the belt first? Hell, Bobby Roode ain't even smelled the WWE title shot. Samoa Joe, boy, he had a couple of title shots, but he wasn't going to win. But I think they let him win against Dean Ambrose because I think Dean Ambrose had the controversial comments, and plus him and the Stone Cold interview didn't go right. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's talking about he dropped out of school, and you know, it was just him and Austin didn't connect in the interview. So I think he lost the belt because of that. Then of course, what kicked off the title reign on the episode of SmackDown, he defeated Jinder Mahal for the championship because they were trying to sell Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal, but it just wasn't working. Especially when Paul Heyman said, "We're fighting Jinder Mahal." It was like, all right, bro, we gotta put the belt on somebody else. Then we knew, and wasn't nobody feeling Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry, that wasn't it. So he fought Brock Lesnar in Survivor Series in a classic match where Paul Heyman gave him his flowers. And plus, like I said, the episode before Survivor Series, he beat Jinder Mahal to capture his second championship, 307 one-day reign, which ended, I think a year and 6 days, where Daniel Bryan ended his title reign in controversial fashion when he became the Planet Champion. But during this luxurious reign, he defeated John Cena, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, who won the Royal Rumble in that trash feud, Samoa Joe, and Rusev. So, I ain't gonna front. I had to put, if I did have top 8, I had it right. I had to put AJ and Randy Savage title reigns on as last. 7 and 8. You know what I'm saying? But I just wish we would have got that rematch with Brock Lesnar, because that was really a good match. You know what I'm saying? Because Brock Lesnar was in his bag those 2 years of Survivor Series with Bryan and AJ. He was in his bag. Like, he was making them look good, and they was making him look good. I just wish we would have got rematches in both of those cases. But, hey, guys, hey, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let's get to 400, and I can drop this Memphis episode for y'all. But I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.
Just let me talk my shit.